Hi, my name's Helen Roberts and I also work for Palliative Care South Australia as the Forum Coordinator. And I'm going to continue along in the series that John McMahon started a couple of weeks ago about advanced care planning. And today we are going to be talking about part 3 of the Advanced Care Directive. It is about your values and wishes, what's important to you at the end of your life. Okay. This section, you're talking about your wishes and values at the end of your life when you can't make decisions. Now, they are just preferences. This is not a place you put down binding refusals of healthcare. They're just your preferences about what's important to you. And that could be things like having your family close to you during an illness or during the end of life, having your pets. There's a section in the back of the Advanced Care Plan that can actually give you some very good examples and guide you in the wording in this section. There are 6 parts to the section, and the first one is when decisions are being made for me, I want people to consider the following. And each section has examples, and I really recommend that you go and have a look at those examples because they're very, very helpful. So this is just a paragraph that might be appropriate for you or not, but this is just an example, and I will read it from the book. My family and friends are very important to me. Being independent and having my dog close to me is also very important, if possible. I also value being healthy and am not very happy or fulfilled when I am unproductive or immobile. The question in part B is outcomes of care I wish to avoid, what I don't want to happen to me. Again, this is not a place to put binding refusals. This is about your preferences. And again, the examples are really good. Here are some is a suggested statement. If I'm unable to recognise family and friends, for example, having dementia, and unable to communicate, I do not want any healthcare which prolongs my life. Is the part where you can designate health care that you prefer. And this is a general good example of what you could put here. I will accept all health care and medical treatment which will improve my health and give me more time with my family if considered appropriate. So they're general preferences for your health care. Again, no specific statements. Always going back to your values and wishes. Part D is about where I wish to live. This is a place where you could talk about your preferences for care, like I prefer to live at home independently and with support from various agencies until that is no longer possible. I prefer to be at home for as long as I want. You can't say, I don't want to go to a residential care facility, because it's just not possible. In some circumstances, that will be something that has to happen. But you might say, I'd prefer to be in a residential care facility that is close to my family. And other people may be happy to move into a residential care facility earlier. So put down, I prefer to live with my family for as long as possible, or I prefer to maintain my independence for as long as possible. Cultural considerations could be made too. You might want to be in a facility that caters for your spirituality. Question E is other personal arrangements. So they are things like continuing to sing in the choir if you want, or not liking wearing tracksuit pants. I don't want to go on long drives or play bingo. You can nominate particular people that you don't want to visit you. And you can nominate maybe things like where, if you had young children, who would look after them and where your pets might want to go. So the last one, F, is my dying wishes. And this is going to be very, of course, individual for you. They're things like situations you'd want to avoid that would be unacceptable when you were dying. So you could nominate where you'd like to die, at home, or some people may prefer to die in the hospital, who you'd want to be there, what kind of music you'd like to listen to. You could even put down some funeral arrangements if that was important to you. You could nominate whether you would like to be an organ donor. So there are lots of specific things for you to think about in this question.